Is your crew just going through the motions? Have you tried the rewards, the tough talks, all of the things, and you still just can't get the energy? You can't get the discretionary effort. Well, let's talk about how to motivate your crew like a championship coach in order to boost performance. So, what is the problem? The problem is that there's inconsistent performance, and what this leads to is subpar job quality, which is a no-no. We can't have it. The customers won't come back. They won't be happy. And eventually our business is going to crumble. What else do we have? We have low engagement, meaning our team is just not engaging with our company. They're not engaging to each other. And what happens there is that they leave, basically. It's high turnover. And then we probably are lacking accountability, which means that we're missing deadlines. Projects aren't getting completed, and so on and so on. We see the tornado of problems here. There's no ownership, which means there's no initiative or discretionary effort. We have to push our employees just to meet the basic expectations. They're going through the motions with our average routine. We can't have it. We've got to motivate them. We've got to get them to motivate themselves in order to accomplish everybody's goals, everybody's dreams, so that they can be happier, so that our business can win, so that our clients can win, and so that our team can win. Here's how to do it. Let's talk about what the heck is even motivation. Okay, so it is the internal, the internal drive, not external, internal, and willingness to put in a consistent effort and care in their work. They've got to give a shit about what they're doing. Okay, not just getting the job done. We're talking about discretionary effort, the above and beyond. They need to love what they do. They need to love who they're doing it with, so that, and they need to love why they're doing it, so that they'll do it faster, they'll do it better, and they'll actually want to come back the next day. So they need to do it well. They need to take pride in it, and they need to connect the dots of how it contributes to the bigger picture of the team success and the customer satisfaction. So enter in the motivate framework. Okay, so we've got motivate. It stands for mission and purpose, opportunities for growth, team connection, incentives and recognition, vision alignment, autonomy and ownership, transparency and communication, and engagement and energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down each and every one of these. We're going to give you the tactical, practical action plans right at the end in order to implement and execute this motivate framework into your team, into your business. So let's start right away. So mission and purpose. So what we're talking about here is the why behind the work. Okay, what is it? Why should they care? How is it connected, their individual role to the big mission of the company? These two things have to connect, and then they have to align as well as connect. They need to understand, you need to understand their why. Like, what is their motivation individually? Why are they doing what they're doing? Most of us, like, we go to work, yeah, but to make money, sure. But it's usually for a reason, because I'm supporting a family, right? Because I got goals and dreams. Like, they need to know the why behind the work individually, and they need to connect that to the big mission. But they also need to know the why behind the company. Why does it exist? And can they be a part of that thing? Okay, so mission and purpose, both individually and mission-wide. They need to understand both of those things, and you need to help connect the dots, 4 of them. That's the mission and the purpose. And this is not like a one-time thing. You need to do this over and over again. It happens in one-on-ones. It happens in small groups. It happens in large groups. Okay, this is like, we're talking the mission of the company. We're talking, this needs to be talked about, I mean, basically every single day. It's in the water cooler conversations. It's in your morning huddles, right? It's in how you reward and you recognize people. It is everywhere. It happens every day. It happens multiple times throughout the day at every single level of the company. These are mostly informal things and conversations that take place in order to connect the mission and the purpose of the individual and of the company, and to explain all of those things behind it. That's mission and purpose. The O stands for opportunities for growth. Okay, so you need to basically create avenues for learning, for skill development, and for career advancement. So what I say is you got to show them the ladder. You want people, okay, and you want your people who you currently have to want to advance. That needs to be like part of your culture, right? It's part of how to motivate, is showing them the ladder of like, where are the rungs in the ladder in your company for career advancement? Where are there skill development opportunities that you're encouraging? Sometimes we're even forcing them. What is it that we're doing to make them more valuable, to invest in them, to develop their leadership, to develop their soft skills, to develop their hard skills? Like, we're pouring into them. That is motivation. That will motivate them because it will connect them and make them feel like they're more than just a tool in your tool belt to make money as an owner, operator, or leader in one of those home service trade businesses, okay? You have to create opportunities for growth. Sometimes you even have to nudge them, but they got to be able to see the ladder. The T stands for team connection, okay? So we need to facilitate and foster camaraderie as well as belonging. So what I want you to think about here is locker room. Okay, so you got a locker room, you got a lot of camaraderie going on. You got the different groups, right? You've got the culture that's happening. You've got friends being made. You've got team building happening. We're doing stuff together. We celebrate birthdays. We know what the mission is. We know what the core values are, right? We belong to something that's bigger than us, which ties back to the purpose of the company and why it even exists in the first place. Are we part of a movement, right? And it can be plumbing. It can be, pest control or weeds for all that matter. That part doesn't matter. We can be a landscaping company whose mission is to grow people. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I love that. Actually, is super powerful. You just need to be able to connect the dots for them. So do they feel like they're part of a bigger movement, something that's bigger than them? And then are we facilitating ways and fostering camaraderie, team building, unity, support, just like a football team would in a locker room, okay? So that is team connection. People need to be connected to each other in order to feel strong, in order to feel like something's bigger than them, and in order to be engaged and motivated. The I stands for incentives and recognition. So what we want to do here with the I of incentives and recognition is that we want to reward high performance with the incentives that matter to your crew, okay? Because every crew is a little bit different. Every industry is a little bit different. So what is it that matters to your crew? Is it days off, right? Is it comp time? Is it added pay? Is it a gas card, right? And what I like to say is just keep it random and do it differently, right? You'll find a handful, 5, 10 things that matter to your crew. So what I want you to do is to randomly reward for high performance, for embodiment of the mission, for carrying out the core values, and for the really good performance. And a great way to do that is leaderboards. Right? I love leaderboards. That competition breeds success. And then you can do whoever's on the top of the leaderboard or top 2 or 3, depending on what you're measuring there. But leaderboards are a great way to do that. But you want to be randomly and doing it differently in how you're rewarding and recognized. It can be a high five. It can be a public praise. It can be a $100 gas card. It can be a free Friday off, whatever it may be. But you want incentives and recognition. It will help to motivate your team. So the V stands for vision alignment. Okay, so think personal goals equals company goals. So basically, how is the company and the team and the leadership making their life better? Okay, that's essentially what we need, especially nowadays. With millennials and with Gen Zers coming into the workforce, we need to know what are their personal goals. What are they trying to accomplish in life, and how can our company help them to accomplish them? And then we need to connect those dots for them and help make their life better. Okay, now leadership is like all things, right? We're the mom, the dad, the counselor, we're the boss, we're the manager, we force expectations, we hold them accountable, we love on them. All of these things happen now in leadership. So how are we making their life better and helping them achieve their personal goals, which are in alignment to the company goals? We have to articulate and ask questions to help align those things over and over again. And this happens every single day, multiple times throughout the day with multiple different people. And that will help us to do that on a regular basis and make that alignment stronger and stronger and stronger. So that's the V in motivate, is vision alignment. Let's talk about the A, okay? Autonomy and ownership. So what this means is creating boundaries of authority. So, we know where our authority starts and where our authority stops. And within those boundaries, we can make decisions and solve problems. That gives us a lot of empowerment. It gives us a lot of autonomy, which makes us part of the solution, which gives us more ownership kind of mentality as we move forward. And the other thing that goes with this is delegation and trust. Okay, so we want to be really good at delegating, right? And then also trust when we actually do delegate. Now, I'll probably do a whole video on delegation, but think about it as a rope. And you never let go of the rope, but you do shorten it and lengthen it. So it's always taut, and the rope gets longer and shorter. It starts short, gets longer and longer, but we never let go of the rope. That's where the trust comes in. We delegate really well. We do so correctly using the right delegation process, right? And then we trust that they're going to actually do it. However, trust doesn't mean no accountability. We still hold accountable. We never actually let go of the rope. And what that does, it creates a lot of autonomy, creates a lot of ownership, which equals motivation. You got it right. All right, so the T stands for transparency and communication. So with our transparency and communication, we want to be open, we want to be honest, we want to be, yes, transparent. So how do we do that? Well, we inform, update, and clarify. And as you've heard me say in other videos, and if you haven't yet, this is where you're going to hear me say it: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay, we want to answer all of those exact questions and make sure everyone knows them all the time. So you want to inform them of any new information, okay, update them on any changes, and clarify any questions or FAQs that might happen. Do so in a simple, clear, and concise way, especially when we're talking about a plan or an action plan. Think KISS, keep it simple and stupid. But you can never have too much communication. My favorite way is email, and we have some type of like Spark or Slack, and you have different groups, you have different circles, and we're doing email for more of like one-offs and policy type stuff. We're doing like Slack or Spark or Basecamp or anything like that to do like our everyday conversation with our respective teams. We're doing mission shout outs, value shout outs, and all of these different things that have constant communication, as well as project planning and team building as a whole. So be very transparent, open, and honest with your communication, right? And then inform, update, and clarify. If you were like, oh yeah, well, so-and-so Bob told Susie that was supposed to tell everybody. No, that's horrible. That is not inform, update, and clarify. Make sure that everybody knows everything all the time is your best way. If there's ever a question of who, what, when, where, why, or how with anything, that's where you know you have a gap and you're not being transparent and communicating well. E stands for engagement and energy. So what we're talking about here is values, right? So what are your core values and how are your people engaging with them? And what is the energy behind them, meaning that attitude? So a lot of this starts with you, to be honest with you. What is your attitude? How are you embodying the values? How are you communicating the values? And then what are you doing to involve the team in overall decision-making of small and large issues, right, or opportunities? And then same thing with problems. What are you doing to involve the team in the solving the current problems or bottlenecks of the business? And then make sure that you celebrate all of the wins, big and small. Do it randomly, do it regularly, do it differently, and make sure that what you're recognizing and rewarding with and what you're celebrating, it matters to the crew. And make sure that you articulate and connect those dots so that everyone always feels like that they're in alignment. One of the best ways to communicate is with meetings. So my gift to you is the 4 meetings that you need to grow a home service trade business. It is a like 20-something page PDF. It's got agendas. It's got structures. It's got what meetings to have with who, when. It's literally turnkey. Take this, implement it in your business, and you will motivate your team better just by meeting with them and keeping them updated, informed, and clarified, as well as recognized and rewarded. And you clarify expectations, you hold accountability. It is literally the one single tool that I'm asked about the most. It's the one thing that we implement, and I'm giving it to you today. Get that at maynerleadership.com. /4 meetings, and you can implement it literally within a day. It's got performance review templates in there. It's got a meeting scheduler in there. It's got all of the things that you can take, you can execute, and you can implement, and it will absolutely change your business overnight. I guarantee it. I promise it. It's a gift to you. Take it. Go do it. Go rock it out. You got this. So what is your action plan after all of this? So I broke it down into two things here. So in order of importance. So the first thing is the why. Sorry. So I want you to get the team together, right? Get your entire team together. I want you to talk about the purpose of the company, right? Why does it exist? Tell the story, and then break down how each role is critical and crucial to that story and to the overall mission of the company, right? Connect those dots, align the why with the individual roles, why with how it's making their life better. Tell them that story, connect the dots for them, articulate it, go into the background and the origin story of the company, and make sure that they feel like that they're part of something bigger than just fixing a car, right? Or, plumbing a house. Make sure that they're feeling like that they are in alignment with what the company's trying to do, with why the company exists, and how their role is crucial and critical to the company, to the movement, and to the overall mission, and is in alignment to their personal mission, right? And you can ask questions with that. You can tell your story. It's a great way to make sure that everyone's aligned with the mission, with the purpose, and with their personal vision as well. That's number one. Number two is what I call a growth challenge. So you can have one person from each team, a leader, everyone. I like to do everyone depending on how big your team is. You can do this departmentally as well. Have everybody pick one skill that they need to work on, right? Have it be a hard skill, have it be a soft skill, whether communication or how to use a wrench. Either one doesn't necessarily matter, but pick one specific hard or soft skill and give them 10 days. Right, so you check in at like day 5. So if you started on Monday, the first Friday, you check in, see how everybody's doing, and you're kind of keeping track of this. Maybe you got your team leaders keeping track of it. And then on day 10, you're giving like $100 gas card award, right? Or Donna's Donuts or whatever it may be. You're giving some type of award that matters to your crew, right? On who created the most strength in that skill that they needed to develop. So basically, it's like the MIP. Who's the most improved player in their one single skill. And then you can kind of do it as a team. You can do it as a whole, either way. But those are your two things. So number one is the why. Tell the story, connect the dots, align the mission, the purpose, the vision personally, their roles, and overall company as a whole. And you're going to just connect all of those dots in a team meeting. And then number two, you're going to implement a growth challenge. Everyone picks a skill, either a hard or soft, and they're going to improve on that skill. And then the most improved player, right, at the end of that 10 days is going to get a reward that matters to them. That is your action plan for the week. That is how you're going to motivate your crew like a championship coach to boost performance, right? Inspire them and keep them productive. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with somebody in the trenches who is just like you, who's trying to grow their business, who wants their team to be engaged and productive. And make sure you smash the bell to get notified for every single video that we ever put out, and to give you the exact tools and strategies that we are using to coach service leaders to build profitable championship teams. Thanks, Playmakers. We'll see you on the next one.